Hey guys, Big Square, roadtoroota.com. Many of you have already heard, but if you have not heard, the CFTC actually brought charges to a smaller trader, James McDonald, the CFTC commissioner. Thank God someone had the balls to at least start the process of ending silver manipulation. They brought charges against a lower level broker for manipulation of gold and silver. They didn't name the bank because there's a lot more to come. It even said it in the CFTC announcement. So go to the CFTC website and go to the news section, and you'll find the announcement that the CFTC has, for the first time in history, done its job. Its only job was to regulate the commodity markets, and this lower level trader was busted for exactly what we've been screaming about. Manipulating the prices, and it's a great day. How long has it been since the silver stackers have been screaming at the CFTC to do something? You know, you go back through all the commissioners who lied, cheated, and stole their way. The only guy who was halfway decent was Bart Chilton. Everybody thinks Bart Chilton bought into the bad guys, went to work for a consulting company to get paid off like everybody else, after saying that he already saw silver manipulation. I don't think so. I think Bart moved because he knew that something bigger was coming, and that something bigger is starting to begin right now. Everybody who's in silver knows that the silver is the key to destroying the banking system. Alan Greenspan, in all his brilliance, gave the banksters enough rope to hang themselves, and they have done exactly that through the derivatives market. So ultimately, it may be a combination of the silver release from manipulation and the derivatives imploding that take the entire system down. And everybody says, well, can't we just fix the problems and move on? No, you can't fix the problems and move on. These bad guys, as I like to call them, bad guys, have all the money. They're the 1% of the 1%, and they have everything. Unless you destroy that money, they will always have control over you. There'll be no revaluation, no dinar value revaluation. The revaluation doesn't help anybody because it doesn't get that money out of the hands of these bad guys who control the world. A revaluation will just be a rejiggering of the same old system. And I don't think that's going to happen. I think the good guys are finally learning the lesson that it can't be a soft landing. No such thing as a soft landing. The closest thing we'll have to a soft landing is converting to one of the cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin most likely, as a use of money going forward, a means of exchange. If Greece had it when they were begging the EU for the bailout, they would be the richest country in the world today. Whoever does it first is going to be the richest country in the world, and all heck is going to break out. So keep an eye, and there's people within central banks around the world watching my videos. I already know that. The Bank of China was a Road to Roota subscriber when I first began in 2010, and Bill Murphy, our buddy at Gata, they were a subscriber to the Le Metropole Cafe. They know exactly what's going on. And so does every central bank in the world. Well, not everyone. There's some stupid countries that just refuse to believe they've been so ignorant, especially South America. Mexico has exported 30%, 33%, right around there, of all the silver ever mined in the world. 33% of it was mined in Mexico, and they exported it, gave it away for nothing. And they're still doing that. If I was a Mexican citizen, I would storm the gates of my government and kick everybody out for destroying their country for the last 50, 60, 70 years. They could have been the richest country in the world, and they still can be if they stop exporting silver. Just put a stop to any of these South American countries. Exporting of silver, all it does is feed the beast and allows these controllers who have ruled your lives for so long to continue. Why does Bolivia and Peru and Mexico and all these South American countries, they're giving the bad guys who rule the West all the ammo they need by exporting their silver? If they stop tomorrow, the world would change tomorrow, and these bad guys would be kicked out because it would destroy the monetary system And that's where they get their power, by controlling all the money in the unbacked fiat system. And they currently have all that money. And if you destroy the price of silver, the suppression of the price of silver, you'll take out 3, 4, 5 of these too big to fail banks. That's the key. You take out the too big to fail banks, and the entire system implodes. All the derivative counterparties implode, and every single electronic asset that is debt-based would disappear instantly as the banks close their doors. It's that easy to end this game and start something new. The problem is the amount of chaos that would cause all around the world is incalculable. And that is how they have maintained this power for so long. We've been too chicken to stop the game. Too scared that it'll be too chaotic, and the banksters and the bad guys always win because everybody's too scared. And now it's been built up. And had we done this like in the 60s when they took out Kennedy, it wouldn't have been as bad as it is going to be today, because everybody is now bought into this unbacked electronic fiat monetary game. No, Bitcoin is not an unbacked fiat currency. It is nobody's debt. It is a pure asset, a beautiful asset that everybody should have in their portfolio. Not in their portfolio, in their hands, in a physical paper wallet Bitcoin. Or electronic if you believe in the electronic Trezor and stuff like that. But, I mean, if you want to be involved with the future of money, which I'm sure everybody does because they work for this stuff every day. They work for electronic blips that are unbacked. But if you want to be involved in the future of money, go get yourself some Bitcoin. If you want to be involved in the future of businesses building up from the ground floor, go buy yourself some Ethereum. And because that's the direct link to the blockchain technology, and that is an amazing technology. It is a truth machine that cannot be stopped. It cannot be stopped. And I love it. And you're going to see Bitcoin go to 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. There'll be little pullbacks here and there. My estimate from way back from December was $10,000 Bitcoin by the end of this year. I think I'm way underestimating what it really will be. If this chaos really kicks off with the banksters, we're talking maybe $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 Bitcoin as the banks implode. And then from there, it's like, who knows? Because will it even be valued in unbacked fiat money, in US dollars? Maybe. It may be backed in a real US dollar, which is a certain amount of physical silver. It's right around an ounce. It's not an ounce. It was based off the Mexican peso. It's a certain amount of grains of pure silver. But that's the legal definition of the dollar. And then there's the Federal Reserve notes. Federal Reserve is involved in destroying the system. I have proven it time and time again. Go to the Road to Ruta letters. Go to the website, roadtoruta.com, or even if you're watching this video and you're a video kind of guy, look up the video, Discovering the Road to Ruta. It'll show you who was involved in the very beginning of creating this electronic monetary system. It was started by none other than Alan Greenspan and his buddy John Kemeny. Back in the 1960s, Alan Greenspan built it up to what it is today and has been rigging the markets with computers and derivatives ever since. Stephen Duveau was his buddy. In the Wishes and Rainbows comic book from the Federal Reserve Bank, the guy Rocky is this guy Stephen Duveau, who is an expert at project implementation. Talk about what's the biggest project in the world? The monetary system, the unbacked electronic fiat monetary system. He was working with Greenspan to prolong the unbacked system, blow the bubble as big as possible, and then pop it. And that's where we're getting. See, that's the thing that pisses me off the most is these guys in the 1960s and 70s were going, oh yeah, we'll just prolong this game longer and build up more power in the U.S. We know the bad guys are, they'll just get bigger and bigger, and we'll kill them when we pop the derivative bubble. Well, now they're 80, 90 years old, and we have to live through the pop. It's insane what they were thinking. The good guys, as I like to call them, within the Federal Reserve, within the U.S. government, should have taken out the banksters when they took out Kennedy. That should have been the moment that the United States stood up and said, no more. And it was well known at the time. It was well known at the time that Kennedy was killed by a consortium for various reasons, but the main reason was he wasn't going to, kowtow to the banksters. And I hear it was also because it wasn't the silver certificates, although that was part of it. It was because he was going to release information on extraterrestrial life that has been on Earth for millennia, thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of years. Yes, we cannot build the pyramids with today's technology, so they did not build the pyramids back in the 15,000 BC. That is the most insane. If you're an archaeology professor and you're trying to determine who built the pyramids with sandstone and whatever, mined it and rolled it on logs for hundreds of miles. Sorry for the interruption, guys. It happens when you're recording on your cell phone, right? Anyway, the insanity of the past needs to be thrown away, and part of that is the release of silver. The release of silver will happen when these banksters go to jail for rigging the price. Now that the cat is out of the bag, the CFTC has asked people to start turning others in. And so you'll see people within JP Morgan, Citibank, Deutsche Bank, all these traders who don't want to go to jail will come and turn state's evidence, and it's awesome. When will it happen? Not today, not tomorrow, but now is an amazing time. The price is still around 17 bucks. You can go to your local coin store and get a 1 ounce of silver that's worth $17 today, and then within a matter of months, it's going to be worth thousands of dollars. That's how big this is. When the manipulation of silver and gold end, there is no limit to how high the price goes. And the banks might try to short it on the way up so it goes up gradually. But we're getting at that point where Cliff High was talking about gaps in the movements. Gaps like $5 gap, $10 gap, $50 gap in the price of silver moving up, jump by jump. Oh, shut down the market. Jump, jump, jump. Jump, jump it out. Anyway, this is Big Swear, roadtoroota.com. Make sure you subscribe. That little red button. We'll talk to you later.